Hey friends, welcome back to another video. Gonna try something a little bit different tonight with this video. Still gonna do the other videos as well, like the head-to-heads, and show you how my team is faring as well. But go through what the games were. Adelaide absolutely smashing the Blues. I'm a Blues supporter. I was absolutely red-faced while watching the game. It was pretty quiet towards the second half, as rightfully so. I mean, Jordan Dawson and Laird totally destroyed us. Obviously Dawson, a lot of you guys did. Sometimes some of you guys didn't jump on board with Dawson. So you got 152, and they had 135. If you haven't got Dawson now, he's going to be going up in a lot of cash. So he's going to be heading towards 650,000. Laird had a couple of weeks a little low. So that means he's going to be a bit cheaper now. Looks like he could be warming up again. So he could be someone that be on people's radars. Someone I wouldn't mind on my side. He was very good last year and he's dropped in value. So he's definitely one of my options. And yeah, just Laird and Dawson had a field day up against the Blues. Blues just couldn't shut them down early enough. I mean, with the away game, you just really want to shut the crowd up. But they just pumped up the crowd just after a couple goals straight away. Michelini only scored 60. I did bring him in. He's still going to make some coin. I was hopefully going to get 80 plus minimum, but that wasn't going to be the case. I really needed a ton to get a lot more cash, but maybe I was a little bit too greedy there. Anyway, only the 60 there. Ed Kerner, not viable. Some people could think about Walsh. The midfield is about Walsh. Not really looking into it that much because I think they're going to take a lot of points away. You've got Cripps, you've got Hewitt, Chera, Walsh, all taking points away. So that's probably one of the reasons why there won't be any of my options here. But yeah, some people would maybe go Walsh. Adam Saab was the big one, getting injured towards the end. He had hamstring tightness. I'm not sure if he's going to be out afterwards. So we'll just have to wait and see with that one. He's not someone on my radar, but I know a lot of people have already gone him. He's doing a lot of kick-ins, so it makes sense that you guys chose him. Akers could have been quietly a good pod, but now he's dropped off with 71, saying that he's not viable now. So you just got to forget about him. Newman had a good strong start to the season, but now he's dropped off, got 58. Cohen made cash, Honey made cash, but Honey only got 28 Supercoach points, not enough. Cohen was okay with 42, but we probably really wanted to get a 60 out of that. And Hollins is another one. His 65 was really solid. So overall, it was a bad night for the Blues and a wake-up call for a lot of us supporters thinking, you just really got to go back and play against the Saints next week and show us what they're made of. Because a lot of them were just standing around like... you could just see the difference in the game. You could just see that, when Adelaide had the ball, they were just working so much harder when kicking to the ball at each other, making sure they were targets. And the Blues, when they had the ball, they stood still. And then once Adelaide kept pushing back as well, when they were kicking towards their forward line, you had Carlton just having loose men on their own, just trying to run back rather than follow their guys. So it was just an absolute mess. And I think it was just because you got McGovern and Doherty out as well this week. So it was a big... And then you had Walsh in the midfield. There was a lot of few changes there. So anyway, I'm a Blue supporter, so that's why I went a bit longer for that game. Anyway, Fremantle up against Suns. The Suns actually were leading for most of the game, but then the Dockers come back and, yeah, they were lucky to win that in the end. So Wrong is definitely on my radar. So he scored 146. He's been consistently 100 plus. So he's someone I'm looking at. I think he's about 530, 540. So Sean Darcy, 136, Repaying the Faith was really good. So we'll be happy with that. A lot of people might not probably go him anymore because he's still got English, Gorn, Grundy, and all that. Wits. There's still a few guys. I know some of them got, Gorn and Wits are a bit injured, but they will be back. Walters, probably not. Who else we got? Will Brody. Was funny. It's funny how Will Brody was on everyone's team last year, or most people's teams. This year, they're definitely not. And there's no one else. I don't think there's anyone else here. Sam Witsitsky got hurt. Tuke Miller is another guy on our radar. Is another one on our radar. Got 127. Blech, can't even talk. But that was pretty good. Lukosius, maybe a couple of people have gone him. Could be an option. Could look at him. Who else we got? Raul, 11 tackles. That's a bit of an effort. So maybe he's going to be in contention of being on people's teams again. I don't think he's going to be on my team, but have a look here. Bailey Humphrey is out. Got subbed out. Only 38 points. If you're looking to get him, he's not going to get much cash. What else have we got here? Tigers and Swans. Tigers are just a shadow of, just a shadow of their former self. They're just not where they are anymore. Swans were really strong. Jacob Hopper made some cash. I didn't go in, but he made some cash. A lot of people would have been happy with that. Taranta 115. Probably less clangers than usual, so that's why his price is. His score is about 115. Normally he's been targeting around 100. But he gets a lot of the ball, but then butchers it a lot. But he had a bit of a cleaner game. Baker, a lot of people would have been happy with 113. Rioli, 101 if you went with Rioli. I did. He was definitely decent. Vastian was the target for mine last season or the season before. He's there or thereabouts, but just he's had a good start of the season. Alright, what else have we got? We have Samson Ryan got 56. You guys would be happy with that, making some extra coin. Rioli Jr. is a sub. Heaney 144. So he's someone that could be looking at to get in our side. Looks like he's getting, but he's injury prone. So, but 144 definitely worth a look in. Tom Papley, I don't think consistent enough. Jake Lloyd is being very consistent. Not a high ceiling though. So, but he looks like someone who could just sit there and you get 100 to 120 each round. So he could be really good. Callum Mills 97 could be an option because he could have dropped in price now. Gordon a little bit underwhelming with 88. So he could be another option too if he starts losing cash. People did go with Warner, but that was pretty risky, especially in the midfield. What else we got? Luke Parker is going to make some cash for us. Maybe, 56, he's going to lose a lot of money. You could probably look at how low he's going to get if he gets like 400 or sub. You could maybe bring him in, especially towards the second half of the season. Sydney Swans generally go better in the second half of the season, but that's when they had Kennedy, and you could actually make some coin. Because this season you want to make coin, but it's going to be very hard with these rookies not performing or not scoring as well. So you need to look at just some of these alternative moves that you could get, like fallen premiums who could bounce back. Will Guild Lerner 39 could be on their radar. He's a little bit older, isn't he? So he could be someone. 39 is not really enough. He has to go pretty well next week. Corey Warner is someone we've been looking at, 37 now with the Lerner. So if he gets another game and plays really, get 60 plus next week, we'll be watching him. I think he's a forward mid. And Joe Marty you'd be upset about with only 33. I was really contemplating rolling the dice with him, but yeah, no, I didn't go him. Luckily enough, I actually went with Van Roon that week, and he's actually going okay. And Brisbane Lions actually smashed the crap out of North Melbourne. So Lachie Neale 176. He's going to lose a lot of value, but then bounce back with with a decent score there. Dunkley repaying the faith 133. People did get worried. Some people did trade him out early, but you just hold on to him because most people do have him, so it wouldn't hurt you. What else have we got? Wilmot 68. Very happy with that one. Rich, people have gone Rich. That's very low, 62. Probably not an option for us, but he's been there or thereabouts in the last couple of years, so nothing's changed with him. McKenna a little bit low with 55. I mean, it's still going to make coin, but you would have thought he would have made more than that. With hindsight's a good thing. Darren Lyon was the sub, so I don't think anyone's got him. I mean, it's funny how 1 year everyone's got him because when Lachie Neale was out, and then he averaged quite high and was getting the big scores. Zeeble 106 was very good with that. So if you didn't get Zeeble, you probably missed the boat. But he's still consistently getting 100 plus, so you probably could still buy him in. But there's probably other better targets now. I got him in because he was about 400,000 at the time. You have to get him in straight away. Shiesel looks like a keeper still. Uniacke only 90, so I'm pretty happy I didn't join that team. The Uniacke. I was going to start with him actually in the preseason, but I decided not to. He could definitely bounce back. Joe Simpkin was out, so some people might have pulled the dice. I don't think he's really reliable. Goldstein should not be there. If you've got him in your team, get him out. Greenwood, no, not really, not. So that's about it for that team. I can't believe the Bombers beat the D's, and they looked pretty good too. And I got Parrish, but Merritt was the guy this round for this game anyway. He did extremely well. But yeah, Parrish 108. But yeah, Merritt was the man. 7 tackles. Wow. Maybe I should have went Merritt instead of Parrish. That would have hurt. Some people would have had, or they did have McGrath. A lot of noise to trade him out this week, but 104 you'd have been happy with. Centerfield 91, I traded him out this week. Pretty happy with that, thinking he was never going to turn up again, and it was going to be hard for him to get over 500 plus, or at least, much more than that. Ridley 91, if you don't have him, get him out. He's just a list clogger in your team. He's not turning up. He's not doing enough for the premium, and he's fallen as well now, so even the risk is greater. Redmond, a lot of people would have jumped on Mason Redmond. He's at the start of the season. I was looking at him too. He had some solid tons, but now 72. Doesn't look like that guy. Yeah, there's no one really else here. Unfortunately, yeah, Joe Menzies is injured, I think, or not. Yeah, no, he's not. I think some people went in, but you wouldn't be happy with 19. Brady Grundy, everyone who jumped on board at about and got a cheap price in would have been very happy. And they look like they're going to get a straight swap to Gawn once Gordon starts losing money. But they've got a big choice to do. I mean, I didn't go Grundy because I didn't want to waste. I've already gone aggressive with trades, and I couldn't really afford going Grundy to, going from Marshall to Grundy, Grundy to Gawn. So I'd rather just go Marshall to Gawn or, another target. So Clayton Oliver was very slow at the start of this game, and I was really happy with that since I don't have him. But he really, second half, he ran really strong, got 115. So, yeah, Petrarca, some people have him. Who else we got? Tomlinson, some people might have got him. He was on the bubble. We got 59, wouldn't have been that much. McVeigh, 63, pretty happy with. Trent Rivers would have been a pod. A lot of people might have got him and thought he was going to be the next Will Day. He's on about 400,000. His break even was very low. But for 69, definitely not happy with that. Stephen May could be another option as well if he keeps dropping in price to make extra coin. Paul come back in the second half and did extremely well. Zach Butters, 146 points. Yeah, he done extremely well. So he was actually going to be a guy instead of Rosie. I didn't go Rosie though. I went JHF, which that was funny enough in itself. I mean, the third quarter he was on 29, and then he ended up at 86. He had an amazing last quarter, and he actually basically won them the game. How can someone turn it around that quick? It's absolutely amazing. Butters, 146, definitely an option. He had a slow start to the season, but now he's starting to get a bit stronger. Marshall did have a look at, he was getting a few tons, but he doesn't seem to be backing it up now. Ollie Wines is a bit low with only 72. Sam Powell's not really relevant. Bonapelli, 145. Everyone's got him. We're happy with that. English is up to 139. Here's one target I wanted to go from Marshall to English. I don't know if Johanneson's actually worth going for the defense line, but 112 definitely raises an eyebrow. Just have a look and see what he's worth. McRae 112 bouncing back. I've got him. So Liberatore's another one. If you're looking for a cheaper option, Liberatore's been someone who could be a decent option. I mean, he's someone I've noticed, not this game, but he seems to get a lot of tackles and it will beef him up. I went with Trelaw, and unfortunately he got 90. Got a lot of the ball though, 35 touches, and it was pretty good, but unfortunately he did a lot of clangers, 9 clangers. Liam Jones, 88, so I was very happy with that, made some coin. Some people went Ed Richards, he went a bit low. Cal Daniels low again, 79. Who else we got? Toby McLean was the sub. Yeah, started as a sub and he got 7. So he could be someone we could be looking at now. He could eventually start, probably lose a bit of value, and then we could get him in and then make some coin if he gets enough games. Tom Stewart, you would have been happy with if you started, if you got him in this week, 135. Definitely an option. I did trade him out when he got injured, and he come back early. It really annoyed me. I thought this was the week where he'd start losing value. Jeremy Cameron, definitely he's one of the best forwards now. He's on my radar. I really want to get him. He's very expensive now, though. He's going to be over 550,000. He's definitely someone I want to look at. Dangerfield, 118. Last time I saw him, he was in the 400s, so he could be an option too. Especially because he's a captain, and when they have captain, like the captain status and all that in the team, they seem to get the ball a lot more and bounce back from there. So maybe he's someone who could make some quick cash if you want to go something a bit strange. Maybe he's not an option. Maybe not cheap enough. The Rat, people really liked him, but they saw 88 finally getting a bit higher. I didn't have him, but a lot of people would have been happy with that. Jack Bowes, only 66. A lot of people might have been looking at him to make some cash, but he's another one that's failed. Duncan, I'm glad I didn't get Duncan in. He got 34. Maybe they're just testing him out and not putting him too much in the midfield. Got 77 game time, so. But yeah, the Cats absolutely destroyed West Coast. Didn't actually watch it. I just saw a bit of the point system on the fan footy. But yeah, the Cats just destroyed West Coast like Adelaide destroyed Carlton pretty much. Tim Kelly got a 90. He's someone that was looking like a pod, but he's not going to be consistent enough, I don't think. And I don't think there's anyone really here. Gimby got injured. Oh, that's the big one. Gimby was injured. That hurts. Yeah. And then Elliot Yo, you would have been glad to not bring him back. If you did, that's unfortunate. Barris only got 52. A lot of people would have went Barris as well just for trying to make some cash. So there is a few rules I have, as I don't really technically have West Coast players, North Melbourne players, apart from if they're rookies, or even Gold Coast. But Miller is the difference in that. So Gary Ablett was the one that turned Gold Coast to be Supercoach relevant, and then even Ablett was finding it hard to be consistent with Gold Coast. But he did get some really big scores there. But yeah, Miller's actually really not scoring the really huge scores, but he's being like between 100 to 130 quite often. So you'd take that any day of the week. So he's definitely really good. Cagnelia is someone I've been looking at. He's going to drop down in price as well. He had a couple of quiet weeks, I think. Or he had 1 or 2 really bad weeks, but 102 could be an option now because he's going to be at a discounted price soon. Toby Green, 120. He was pretty cheap as well. And Whitfield, you'd be absolutely smashing screens. Nick Haynes was someone people would be looking at. 66, a little bit upsetting there. And Cadman, only 31 learner. So be looking next week to see if he gets in there. People would have been happy with Buckley. He got 78. That's actually really good. Roaston, what do? You get subbed off 42 or started at sub? I started as a sub and only got 42, so people would be annoyed at that. And Seamus Mitchell, wow, 67. That's a good start. But I think he's at 206,000, so that's going to be a tough ask to get him in. It'd be a downgrade option. You'd have to have someone that you're not happy with in your side and be like a premium, but still, I don't think you could fit him in your side. Sicily is falling down in price. He's definitely a target with 91. I've got 3 holes to fill with the defense line, so Sicily could be one there because he's dropping down in price as well. People would be happy with Warple. I traded him out. He got 100. Like he's going to make some cash. Hopefully, it backs that up. Fergus Green, 76. That was really good. Pretty happy with that one. He's making a lot of people cash. Most people have got him. Mackenzie started a sub. That really hurt. 14. And let's go And wait a sec. Yeah, that was the Eagles. Oh, this was the Giants. Here we go. Oh wait. Ah, this is terrible. I messed this up, didn't I? Anyway, yeah. What a game. The Giants 77, the Hawks 75. That was pretty close. Hawks almost got there again. But yeah, people have been happy with Tom Green with 97. He's still consistently around 100. I think I was right about him. He didn't have this. I don't think he's going to have the ceiling. And the reason why I didn't start him was I don't think he was going to be consistent enough to be, towards the end. Usually these young players usually fall off the rate. Like they usually fall off and don't score 110 plus. And you really need these midfielders to actually be really consistent if you want to be in contention of the rankings. Who else we got? Sid Buckley and all that. We've gone through all that. Sorry, guys. But yeah, Sicily, yeah. Yeah, we've gone through that now. So, anyway, Wingard always failing. Injured again. All right, Collingwood, wow. They looked really good in the Saints the last 2 minutes of the game. Did some quick goals, looked like they had half a chance. Even Ross Lyon felt like he saw the funny side of it. But Nick Dacos were lucky to bring him in with 128. Tom Mitchell's an option. He was only 500 not long ago. Was someone I've been looking at. Some people think Josh Dacos, but I'd put him in the same category as Tom Green. I don't think he's going to be consistently enough as 110, 120 plus, so I don't think he's consistent enough. And Jack Chris only midfielder. Pendlebury only 92, someone I was looking at. Side bottom, a lot of people would have had. Looking at 78 is definitely not enough, so he's not going to be in our radar anymore. And next day's out. Don't think there's anyone else that's relevant there. No. Let's have a look here. Walkie 156. He did score quite good last week. Could be making some cash if he backs it up, so but could be really risky. Rowan Marshall 123. Most people have got. That's really good. Brad Crouch, yeah, not consistent enough, but he's there though. Mason Wood 98. He's been someone that's scored 100 to 110, 120, but you get him at a discounted price. It was about 400,000 to begin with, and you would have been happy and made some cash out of that. Sinclair 90 is pretty cheap now, so he's not someone we've been looking at. And that's about it. Bartel was, Jack Bartel was the sub. You'd be a bit pissed if you had him. A lot of people are saying he's a must-have, but obviously not. You would have been really happy with Philippou making some coin there. I was pretty upset that he made some money. Stocker didn't make as much either, only 78. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. This was just something I was just trying out, just to go through, and we could definitely see some candidates that we want to try and get into for our side, and there's not that much for rookies to downgrade. Anyway, guys, thank you. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video.